All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Monday, May 29th, 2023. A pretty good slate of games today. A little bit of baseball. Not big slate of baseball games. I'm kind of surprised. It seems like usually there's more baseball games on
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, like the Reds has got the day off, which is kind of unusual, I think.
Yeah, they were talking about that on Friday during the Friday pregame about how it was. The Reds announcers were.
What about them Reds? Three-game winning streak. I think they've won. I want to say 5 out of the last 7. They're only 4 games out of first place. I mean,
not playing too bad.
Yeah, not doing too bad. Just if the pitching can hold up.
First time they swept the Cubs in like 10 years.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Yeah, they're in third place actually right now. They moved in front of the Cubs and trying to remember the other team. Maybe St. Louis, I think maybe. Yeah, I think St. Louis.
How's it going, Glenn?
I think they're only like a game or so out of Pittsburgh for second. Pittsburgh hasn't won a series in May. They've lost every series.
Yeah, they've really felt has been falling off quite a bit as well.
Yep. See Glenn's out there?
Yep.
Hey, Glenn, what'd you think of that race? And I thought that 500, me and Chris both watched it. I thought it was a heck of a race. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I did too. I
really enjoyed it.
I didn't think it was ever going to end.
No. Now, what do you think about the guy being upset? He felt like the race shouldn't have been restarted that last time, Erickson. He's upset. He thinks he should have won the race. Glenn, you know more about the rules. What do you think about that with Erickson?
Personally, I was glad that they started it back up because I hate to see a race end under caution. Hey, how's it going, Don? Glenn said, doing great yesterday, was a fun adventure. Loved it. Happy the tire didn't hurt anyone. Yeah. They got lucky with that tire didn't hit nobody. It might have it hit a car. It might have hurt a car a little bit, but at least it didn't hit a person. But no, and then Don said he had a question for you about the hockey. About restarting the race, I know I didn't know what the exact rule was, but I know the guys on TV, watching on TV, they at first thought that the race probably was going under caution, that they weren't going to restart it because there was only like 3 laps left, and but I liked it that they I liked that they restarted. I would hate that was too good of a race to watch it end under a yellow flag. So I like that they done the restart. I'd have been fine if they would have, instead of just doing the 1 lap green, if they had done basically green and had 2 laps, do white and then checker instead of doing green and white at the same time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been mad about that either. But I don't know what the exact, if there's an exact rule, there has to be so many laps left to red flag a race and restart it like that, or if it should have ended in caution. I don't know what the exact rules are.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know the guys on TV made it seem like that the race was basically over and it was going to end in caution.
Especially one guy. Said, and the other guy was he didn't know. I think it should have been, restarted. I don't think you should ever enter, unless it's just a massive wreck where it's going to take 30, 40, 50 an hour to clean it up. Like if you got 10 cars involved or something, I could see that maybe.
Glenn said Erickson got booed when he said that. And Glenn said that he didn't like his comments, that he likes when the officials give it a go and let the race finish under green.
Yeah, I prefer that too. As far as on the hockey question, I usually don't do too many over and unders on hockey. I usually do money line picks, and Vegas is my team, so I'm going with Vegas. But the one site that I use a lot, they're saying take over the 5.5. But if you go by the last 2 games, I think they've been games. Well, last game was 4-2. The game before that was 3-2. If Vegas scores 3 goals, they usually win. But the last two games, they've only scored 2. So it's tough. Whether that 5.5, I think.
And Glenn says IndyCar has no OT rules, but I'm okay with it. NASCAR does it all the time. Yeah, I know NASCAR a lot of times they'll do green white. They'll do green white checkered.
Yep.
Yeah. To me, you know, I wasn't at the race. I was watching on TV. But if I was the person that paid money to go watch the race, to me, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it in under caution. That's just
I agree. And
even watching on TV, I didn't want to see it under caution. But especially if I spent money to be there, I thought it was a real good race. Like I said, I didn't think they was ever going to end because they kept having so much trouble getting restarted there.
Yeah, Ericsson got off to a good restart too. I thought he was going to win it, and the guy made a great move and beat him.
Oh yeah, he made a good move. I still think Ericsson kind of got lucky that he was in the pole when they restarted because I thought that Newgarden and the other
I got third from AJ Foyt.
Yeah.
I think he had the best car. I don't think that they would have.
I think them two had just passed.
Yep.
Had just passed him right before he right before the caution came out.
Yeah,
but they kept it that order. Actually moved the one guy back to third.
But before they had them other cautions with about 15 or 20 laps, I think that I can't remember his name right now. Glenn probably can help me. The guy AJ Foyt that got third. I think he was in position. He was going to have a good chance to win that race. If there's no more cautions, I think he was in a good position.
Yeah, but it was kind of weird. His car looked real good. Then he went in that last pit stop, and his car he came back out, and his car didn't look the same.
Didn't look, yeah.
I thought he was. I thought he was going to win it as well. Was it Ferrari or something like that? It was I forget the guy's name now, but
it was a very good race. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Although, yeah, I know when they showed the snake pit on TV, that place it looked like you couldn't move in there.
Oh yeah, it did.
Looked like I never did hear like a total number from what I heard, but what I was heard it was over 300,000 people there.
Glenn, did it take you a long time to get home?
I'd heard there was over 300,000 people. I don't know like the exact number, but yeah, I know it was. I know when they showed the TV shots, the place was packed.
It didn't look like you could move. I don't know if I'd want to be in a crowd like that. What do you think?
I want to go at least one time. Now I don't know if I think I don't know. Probably the way my body is now, I'd probably rather be in the grandstand somewhere than down in like the snake pit. Just because if I wanted to move, I'd be able to move a little bit.
Man, it was a pretty awesome weekend. We got to go to a great wrestling show. Kokomo didn't disappoint, especially the cage matches. Well, the whole show was pretty good, pretty solid, especially the last probably 5 or 6 matches were great. So I had a lot of fun there. Watched a ton of wrestling this weekend. I know you watched quite a bit. Even I watched all of it, but you watched quite a bit of it too. So it was a pretty good weekend.
He said kindly, I got to South End right at 6 to catch shuttle home. I sat an extra hour to catch a golf cart. Uso said Uso's turned on Roman. That was awesome.
I think that was the best thing of the weekend. I think most fans would agree. Well, maybe some fans wouldn't, but I think the majority of the fans would. I thought Night of Champions was a really good show. I thought NXT knocked it out of the park too. I don't know if people seen it. Me and Chris got to watch I got to see about half of Impact. I think Chris watched maybe 2 matches of it, the last 2, because I was having some trouble with my feed. But I got to see half of it. I thought it was real good what I seen. The last match was unbelievable, Glenn, and guys and people out there. It was Of course, I'm on POC against Macklin for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Macklin's a champion. It was no disqualification match, and they did things I'd never seen before. They during the match, Macklin got a staple gun and stapled POC's mouth shut with about 3 or 4 staples, which I'd never seen before. Me and Chris was freaking out, and then he knocks down Macklin and goes grabs a pair of pliers and pulls the staples out of his mouth, which I'd never seen before. So it was some pretty crazy stuff, and that was good. And then of course watched AEW, which was average probably at best. The last 2 matches are pretty good.
He probably does. All right. See, baseball today. We'll start there, then we'll talk Game 7 in NBA.
Yep.
Got a few games on already. Guardians are up 5-0, bottom of the 9th inning over the Orioles. Rangers are up 5-0 over the Detroit Tigers in the bottom or the top of the 8th in that game. Kansas City Royals are up 1-0 over the St. Louis Cardinals. That game's in the bottom of the 4th. Chicago Cubs are up 1-0 against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's in the bottom of the 4th. First game I like today, I'm gonna go with the Braves Athletics. Braves are 1.5 run favorites, minus 240 on the money line. The Athletics are plus 198 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 9 runs. On the mound for the Braves, you got Soroka, you got Blackburn on the mound for the Athletics. The Braves are 17-7 on the road, and they're hitting 260 as a team. They have a 3.67 team ERA. Athletics are hitting 220 as a team, and they're 5-23 at home. And they have a 6.87 ERA. I like the Braves at the minus 1.5. Braves have been pretty hot lately. Athletics are on pace to finish with one of the worst records ever in Major League Baseball. They haven't been good at home or on the road. So I'm going to go with the Braves at the minus 1.5 in that game. Next game I like is the Washington Nationals, Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers are 1.5 run favorites at home, minus 250 on the money line. Nationals are plus 205 on the money line. Over-unders at 9 runs. On the mound for the Nationals is Williams. He's 2-2 with a 4.32 ERA. Nationals are 12-13 on the road. For the Dodgers, they are 17-7 at home. They will have Miller on the mound. He's 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA. That can be a little deceiving though, because he's only pitched 5 innings. He's only pitched 5 innings this year, where the pitcher for the Nationals has pitched 50. But Dodgers have been good at home. I like the Dodgers at the minus 1.5. Like I said, they're 17-7 at home. And then the last game I like, Yankees and Mariners. Mariners are 1.5 run favorites, minus 136 on the money line. Yankees are plus 116 on the money line. Over-unders at 7.5. Yankees are 32-23 on the season, 13-10 on the road. They have Herman on the mound tonight, who's 2-3 with a 3.75 ERA. Mariners are 28-25 on the season, 16-13 at home. They have Miller on the mound, who's 3-1 with a 1.15 ERA. Miller hasn't given up a home run this season. Mariners are 4-1 over their last 5. I'm going to go with the Mariners on the money line here at home against New York Yankees. So that's going to be my 3 picks for Major League Baseball: Braves minus 1.5, Dodgers minus 1.5, and Mariners on the money line.
Okay, my Major League Baseball parlay for today. I've got Minnesota at Houston. I'm going to take Houston money line. I got Pittsburgh at San Francisco. I'm going to take San Francisco money line. And I went the opposite of you. I'm taking the Yankees money line against Seattle. And then my NHL for tonight, I'm going with Vegas money line. Man, I hope they can pull out this win. I know it's at Dallas, but I don't want to go to a game 7. But I'm afraid that's where we're headed. Dallas has really played well the last 2 games. And the games have been tight, though, till about the third period. Well, one was 3-2. It was 2-2 going to the third period the other night, and Dallas scored 2 goals. So Dallas has maybe figured out Vegas a little bit. So been a tough series.
Yes. So who you got winning tonight?
I'm going to go with Vegas. Just hoping.
All right. But NBA tonight. Heat Celtics game 7. Celtics are 7.5-point favorites. Minus 310 on the money line. The Heat are plus 250 on the money line. Over unders at 204. That's actually went up. It was at 203.5. I think
what was the over under again?
204.
Okay, I'm on up. Yeah.
I think the Celtics win this game, but I'm not crazy about the 7.5 points. So I'm gonna go with the over the 204. But I do think Celtics win. I just think they have all the momentum now.
So you think Miami and the points are a good pick?
Yeah, I was going back and forth on that. I was thinking about taking Miami in the points, even though I think the Celtics are going to win, but I decided not to. But I do. I mean, if you look, last game was a 1-point game. A lot of these games have been decided right around that 5-6 point range. So I mean, I wouldn't say it wouldn't be a bad pick. No, I just decided to stay away from it. But I just think the Celtics have the momentum. I kind of think the Celtics might blow them out. Just because the way they won that last game, I think it's going to be hard for Miami to come back from. But also, they barely beat Miami last game as well. So I mean, Celtics was up by 12 with 3 or 4 minutes left in that game, and almost blew the game.
Yep.
And then got lucky and was able to win it at the end.
It was up 1 with 3 seconds left, and a tip in cost them.
So that's the only thing that worries me about That's what worries me about picking the Celtics at the 7.5 is there's been 2 or 3 times in this series where they've had a real big lead and they've let it kind of slip away and have held on to win. I think that's kind of what's going to happen tonight. I think they're going to get out to a pretty good lead. But, I think they're going to be able to hold on to it, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Heat doesn't make it close. So it's going to be interesting to watch. You got the Celtics trying to be the first team in 150 tries to come back from 0-3. From 0-3 deficit. Only difference is out of the other 4 teams that forced game 7 is that the Celtics will be at home instead of on the road. The other teams are all on the road. So personally, I think whoever wins this game, I still think Nuggets are going to win the finals. But yeah, it's going to be I do think it'll be a pretty good game. I think Celtics win, but like I said, I don't like the 7.5 points. So I'm going to go with the over 204.
Yeah, Frankie, you might get some surprises tonight with some of the reading. Frankie's going to be at Monday Night Raw tonight. But with some of the reading, there may be some surprises.
I'm sure, yeah, I figure it'd be a pretty good Raw tonight.
Well, the rumor is you may see Ron Breaker make a debut. He didn't get drafted, but there's definitely they were. I guess after that show, there was some people told they're going up, and the rumor is Bron Breakker was one of them. Now, whether he goes to Raw or SmackDown, I don't know, but
that'd be pretty cool.
And there may be some others coming too. So that it's.
And Raw after a pay-per-view is usually always pretty good most time. I know Raw after WrestleMania wasn't the greatest this year, but usually
that was a weird one.
But usually Raw after a pay-per-view is usually pretty damn good. So.
And there's also rumors that Ciampa, rumor definitely Ciampa's coming back. Now whether he comes back tonight, there's rumors he may be back tonight because the Ciampa they're going to reunite Ciampa and Gargano, which I think is awesome. So did want to ask you a question. Of all the matches you did watch this weekend, what match did you think was the best? I know you got to see some Impact. You got to see some AEW, just the matches that you've seen. I mean, I think you've seen about all of the most of the NXT, not all of it, but I know you've seen pretty much all Night of Champions. So, what match do you think was the best match of the weekend?
Oh man,
I've got one definitely.
oh no, I like the Lesnar and Rhodes match. I thought that was good.
They did some
I
great.
thought
storytelling.
Rollins and Styles was good.
Yep, that was up there too. The storytelling in the final match was fantastic, off the charts. Probably the best moment of the weekend. But the match for me for the weekend was on NXT.
Yeah, that was real good.
Dragunov and Dijak knocked it out of the park, man. I'll tell you what, you talk about physical.
Yeah, that was the last man standing.
Yeah, and the facial expressions by and just the actions by Dragunov. If people haven't seen that match, go watch it. I'm telling you, you will be impressed. It was outstanding.
Yeah, that was a real good match as well.
What match did you like best on AEW? I know you've seen about the last two. Which one? You may have seen 3 or 4. I can't remember what you've seen.
Yeah, it's all like 3 or 4 matches. I'd probably say probably the MJF match was probably my favorite one.
The last match
was good, but I thought the production hurt it some because
I did too.
There was so much stuff going on, and there was times where hell, there was a pinfall at one point, and it wasn't even on camera. So I think they should have went to the split screen more, so you could seen a little more of the action.
Yep.
And I thought that match went. I thought that match went a little bit long. You could have cut a few minutes off that match.
Yep.
But I'm usually not a real big Sammy Guevara guy, but I thought he looked good last night.
I too.
I thought MJF looked good. I thought that match was actually better than what I thought it was going to be. So I'd probably go with that one.
It was a spot match, but it was good. I mean, I thought they all hit their spots. I thought there was a little bit of storytelling to the end, at the end of the match. That was, it was a callback. So I thought it was a pretty good match. I thought that was probably the best match on the show. You seen the ladder match? What did you think?
I didn't. It fell flat to me. I really didn't.
See, I liked it, but I thought that they overbooked it. The Arn Anderson trying to bite his finger off, I thought looked stupid. Him trying to jump from a top rope to the ladder and basically bending the ladder in half. Why would they even try that? I mean, this dude's 6'5", 300
and then
pounds.
You got referees holding ladders.
Yeah,
I didn't. That stuff that kind of turned me away from.
I think if they would have just let them guys go out there and go and not overbook it and be a little smarter, I think that match could have been really good. But I think the booking hurt it.
Yeah, why did Arn Anderson need to be in the ring?
Yeah, the dude would break him in half. Luchasaurus would break him in half.
Yeah,
I mean, Arn Anderson's way out of shape, and one of his arms don't work very well. I mean,
yeah. So I don't know. I didn't think that match was. I thought it. I think them two together could have put on a heck of a lot better ladder match than what that was.
We're going to talk a lot about more on tonight's show at 6:30 with a bunch of other stuff. But I got some interesting stuff for comparing the 4 shows, especially 3 shows, and some interesting stuff from Bleacher Report on their reviews, what they thought, and it's pretty interesting, especially since Bleacher Report actually shows that show on pay-per-view, the AEW show. So I thought it was pretty interesting. So we'll be going over some of that stuff later tonight at 6:30 with some old school stuff and our show that we went to this weekend. Also some stuff that Marcus went to this weekend.
Yep. So my picks for tonight, I'm gonna go Celtics Heat. I'm gonna go over the 204. Baseball, Major League Baseball, Braves -1.5. Dodgers -1.5. Mariners on the money line. If you missed our wrestling show from Saturday night, the AECW show, go check it out on our YouTube page. at GonzoSportsRoom. Please hit that subscribe button while you're over there. Also, like and follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at GonzoSportsRoom. That's where we post all the stuff about upcoming shows. I know we'll be at a show this Saturday, and then also be working on getting some more interviews and stuff scheduled as well. This Saturday, I don't know the whole card, but I know there's a couple matches on that card I'm looking forward to. So that should be another good show.
Yeah, I agree.
But, I thought the show Saturday night was pretty solid. So, like you said, we'll talk more about that tonight.
Give a shout out to Christian Cash, who won the championship, didn't lose his career. I thought that was a real good match, real good moment. He got pretty sliced up by the cage on his chest. And I don't know if he's going to have stitches, but he definitely had some butterflies on that thing. He got pretty sliced up. Still cage not forgiving. And there were some really good matches on that show.
Any games y'all like in Major League Baseball? Games I like in Major League Baseball, like Braves at the -1.5 against the Athletics, the Dodgers -1.5 against the Nationals, and I like the Mariners on the money line against the Yankees.
Yeah, the picks I had from my parlay, I had Minnesota at Houston. I took Houston money line, Pittsburgh at San Francisco, to San Francisco money line. I went the opposite of Chris. I went the Yankees money line at Seattle.
One thing I will say about that game real quick that does favor the Yankees, even though I picked the Mariners. The Yankees are 10-6 this year as underdogs, so they have played good in underdog role. Mariners are 16-20 as favorite, so Mariners have done decent as favorite, but Yankees have played good as an underdog.
Yankees playing pretty good ball right now.
Mariners, I think, have the better pitcher on the mound tonight. So that was one of the reasons I went with the Mariners tonight. And the Mariners have actually been hitting the ball a little bit better.
Mariners come off a big win last night. They hit a walk-off in the 10th against Pittsburgh. I was watching that game.
And then, so
old Red Suarez hit a 3-run homer.
Yep. Only bad thing about him, it's either strikeout or home run.
He's played a lot better since he left the Reds, though. He not did too bad for Seattle. Batting average rate. He's hit real well this year with guys on base. Damien said it. Go take it to 7. You're not. Hey, it's not over yet, Damien. But I tell you what, it's sure looking that way. If I will give you your flowers if they win it tonight. I will say Damien knows all and Frankie Cruz sucks. if they win tonight, okay?
But no, we appreciate everybody joining us. Like we said, don't forget tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll have our weekly GWR show. Come join us for that. We'll be back tomorrow around 3 o'clock with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Got hockey game 5 hockey tonight? Game 6. Game 6 in the hockey night. Game 7 in the NBA.
Same time.
Eastern Conference.
What's he saying?
He said Nights of Champions was shit. Well, if you thought Night of Champions was shit, you must thought AEW was really shit.
Yeah.
Because the AEW pay-per-view last night I thought was terrible. That's my opinion on it. But
I thought Night of Champions was pretty solid. But I'll be honest with you, a man liked NXT the best this weekend. It was close, but I thought Night of Champions was very good. I really did, and I think most people did. So, but you're right. You got to write your opinion.
Yeah, everybody like. I mean, AEW, like I said, I didn't think that pay-per-view last night was very good at all.
Probably about C.
I watched maybe four matches of it, so I didn't see all of it.
Yeah.
But I
watched it all.
I saw the last two the two matches.
I saw
the ladder match. I saw the women's championship match, which you already know my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I thought, to me, that was a waste. We'll talk about that tonight at 6:30.
Yeah. And I've seen other people say that too. People who love the product, love AEW, didn't understand that either.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I didn't understand the book. If you wanted to have her lose, that's fine, but not. I don't think you should have done it then. I think you should have. Why not? Why not book it, and make that match mean something?
Yep.
But that's just my opinion on it. We'll talk more about that tonight at 6:30. Like I said, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. And we'll see you guys tomorrow right around 3 o'clock with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Hope everybody has a great night.